officers risking their lives on the job.
We pursued them to ensure our citizens were safe.
After a gunman opened fire in a Florida neighborhood. Marathon weekend occupies South Florida streets.
It's become a destination race.
As runners make the journey to the finish line. A preview to the upcoming baseball season.
Just being here for me is just like an experience on its own.
A fun-filled event dedicated to Marlins fans. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I'm Cassandra Alonso. Today is Monday, January 29th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
We wake up this morning to tragedy overseas. 3 U.S. service members have been killed in a surprise attack. It was a drone strike in Jordan from rebels backed by Iran.
Caplin News is the only South Florida news organization on the ground in Jordan this morning. Here's reporter Leon Abu Tarbush.
I'm standing in Amman, the capital and north of Jordan, but if you go hundreds of miles east from here, you will reach the military base 22, just on the borders of Iraq and Syria. Now, this is where the drone attacks happened yesterday, killing 3 U.S. Army soldiers and injuring at least 34 more. 8 U.S. service members had to be evacuated for medical reasons, and more injuries are anticipated consistent with traumatic brain injury. The Biden administration believes an Iran-backed militia was responsible for the attack on the U.S. service members at the base on Sunday. However, they haven't identified the specific militia group yet. Biden addressed the incident during remarks at Brooklyn Baptist Church in Columbia in South Carolina.
We had a tough day last night in the Middle East. We lost 3 brave souls in an attack on one of our bases.
Yes.
And that's the silence for all 3 of those souls.
Please.
We shall respond.
This is not the first time Iran-backed militias have targeted U.S. and coalition bases in Iraq and Syria with over 150 drone and rocket attacks since October. Iran says they are retaliating against the U.S. response and support for Israel in the war against Hamas in Gaza. The U.S. has privately warned Iran to rein in these proxy groups, but the warnings haven't had a significant effect. Now, Jordan's Minister of Government Communications, Mohanad al-Baydin, has condemned the attacks and said that the Jordanian armed forces are working closely with American troops to ensure that Jordan's borders with Syria are protected. I'm Leon Abu Tarbush reporting for Caplin News, Amman, Jordan.
2 police officers in Central Florida are recovering from their injuries today after a gunman shot them both. The officers who work for the Palm Bay Police Department were responding to a domestic disturbance in the area. That's when they encountered 24-year-old Brandon Kappas armed with a gun. He then started firing at the officers.
2 of our officers.
Kappas attempted to flee.
Were shot today as a result of doing their job, and that's to protect and serve our community and the members and our citizens of Palm Bay. We will not tolerate anybody raising their guns or any type of lethal force or aggression towards our police officers. As a result of Mr. Pappas' direct action, another victim that I will not name at the moment is also deceased as a result of his actions today. After firing at our officers and injuring them, he then fled the area, and we pursued him. We pursued him to ensure our citizens were safe and will remain and continue to be safe.
Kappas attempted to flee but was shot and killed by police on site. He also killed an unnamed victim that police found in his home. The policemen who were injured on the scene remain in recovery and are expected to survive.
Runners are taking a well-deserved rest this morning after an exhausting event. As Caplin's Valentina Gaspari reports, they took part in yesterday's Lifetime Miami Marathon and half marathon across downtown and Miami Beach.
The 2024 Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is feeling 22 this year as the race is in full effect this morning. New runners and seasonal marathoners push their limits and take over the Miami area to cross the finish line. The 26.2 and 13.1 mile races started at 6 in the morning. About 18,000 runners began at the start line in front of the Casella Center to then head over to South Beach and return to the downtown area. Half marathoners were then separated from the track to wrap up their end of the race, while full marathon runners kept pushing through to Coconut Grove to later make their way back to Bayfront Park. Supporters scattered across all areas of the course to cheer on their loved ones with some posters and other heartfelt moments as the runners were completing their last miles of the race.
Yeah, over 80 countries, 49 states. It's become a destination race. It's a big party as well. Celebrates health, fitness, community, and yeah, those folks that are coming from out of town, hopefully leaving with a good taste of what Miami is, and seeing that health, fitness, well-being, partying is all part of our DNA.
And behind me now, you can see the half marathoners finishing their races at an hour 50 mark. Next up are the marathoners. George Onyaka from Kenya was this year's full marathon winner, finishing the race in 2 hours and 17 minutes. And for the half marathon, it was Solomon Kagimbi with an hour and 4 minutes time.
I think it's just, acknowledging that movement is such a blessing and that you have this opportunity to do this, that not everybody can do what you're doing in that moment. So just being grateful for being able to move your body and run each mile is so important, and that gratitude will carry you through to the finish line.
So the hard moments are, I always there with people that passed out, and I saw it, and I'm a paramedic, and I just wanted to get there to help them. I got my team with me, they helped us.
There were also activities for those who weren't participating in the races. Merchandise booths, including foods and shows by partner brands, were available for everyone. That wraps up the 2024 Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. Even though temperatures were in the hot 80s, the runners kept pushing through for that long-awaited victory. For Caplin News, I'm Valentina Gaspari.
A special exhibit is available in Wynwood this morning after a high-profile debut event. Caplin News reporter Enzo Canet introduces us to a man who made a name for himself in 2 different art forms.
We are here in Wynwood, standing right in front of the Museum of Graffiti's own Art of Hip Hop exhibit, which just so happens to be right in front of the mural, painted by none other than the hip hop legend that they aim to honor tonight. Part of a community known for letting actions speak louder than words, it was Doze Green's name on the event headline that brought these artists to lay down their cardboard mats in exchange for microphones to gather to vocalize their influence in the hip-hop culture they helped to build through the art of breakdance.
Well, the first time I started seeing b-boying, or what we call b-boying, like 73, 72, 73, and I started doing it around 76. I was doing graffiti more than that at the time. So that's the thing, like when you were, like, before it was called hip hop, we were just doing what came natural.
There's a lot of history here, man. It's a beautiful place we're at. We've got a lot of art. I think it hits closer to home, this museum, right? Because these are people that know my people. These are people I kind of know where they're coming from. Like, they're coming from their heart. Anything that has to do with hip hop, it's always coming from a place where they want to educate. They want to enlighten their people and get their community talking and excited about what the culture is about, right?
An incredibly important thing to be able to connect people in physical spaces. I mean, we have this great building where we do exhibitions. People come here every day. But imagine when you come here that you can meet the people behind the stories, the people behind the photos, the people in the photos, the people that are the makers, the movers, the shakers of this movement.
This is everything that a lot of us dream of having. We dream to be a part of it, right? We dream these things into reality, and it's a collective effort. So what I feel from it when I see it, when I'm experiencing it, is hope.
It pushes the culture forward and allows us to get to know each other. There is no community unless we get to know each other. And so bringing out Doze, bringing out Chilsky, bringing out Louis, make it real for people, make it tangible. Hip-hop isn't just on TV. Hip-hop is not in the movies. It's here, it's alive, it's in your face, it's in your community, it's your neighbor, right? It's your friends, your new friends that you're about to meet when you come to the Art of Hip-Hop.
For anybody who wants to get involved, the event held tonight is completely free, as will be the ones in the months to come. We continue to celebrate the legacy of hip-hop right here in Miami. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Enzo Canetti.
250,000 followers on YouTube this morning for a man with a love for cities and transportation. As Caplin's Hannah Kosoff reports, he spent some time over the weekend here in South Florida.
Last Friday, the St. Petersburg Chamber of Commerce marked its 125th annual meeting, presenting plans for city revitalization. The event featured a lecture by the urbanist YouTuber City Nerd with 230,000 subscribers. Many attendees expressed satisfaction with its 2024 legislative priorities, such as education, housing, connectivity, sustainability, and healthcare. Juan Lopez Estevez, a member of the St. Petersburg City Council representing District 3, highlights his appreciation for the comprehensive plan, specifically emphasizing the integration of various land uses.
Very excited about the development and growth and opportunity going on in the city, especially in the Innovation District and with the gas plant redevelopment. I am very big on also preserving the charm and identity and our quality of life for the city and making sure that St. Pete stays special and a community where we can all live, work, and play and grow in such a prosperous environment.
Olivia Tiffany, a St. Petersburg resident and attendee, underscores the positive impact this initiative will have on the local community.
As a St. Pete native, I'm super excited to see all the redevelopment and everything going on in St. Pete. I'm excited for the locals, I'm excited for a community to grow, and I can't wait to see what everyone in this room, all the inspiring people that are bringing forth change and what we can do to have a better St. Pete.
Reporting from St. Petersburg, I'm Hannah Kosoff with Caplin News.
Chick-fil-A customers are getting a share of a settlement from a class action suit over food application delivery fees. The suit accused the company of advertising low-cost delivery and then increasing menu prices for delivery orders, but not for in-store orders. Chick-fil-A did not admit guilt, but it did agree to a $4.4 million settlement. Those eligible for their share of $29.95 can choose cash or gift card from November 19th through April 2021 in 5 states, Florida being one of them.
This morning, an aerial view of hundreds of manatees gathered at a Florida wildlife refuge. The video of all the manatees was captured over the weekend. Crystal River, located near Tampa, is the only national wildlife refuge in the United States created specifically to protect habitats from the marine mammal, according to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
The Super Bowl teams are set.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
My kids having a good time, meeting the players, getting autographs, playing outside.
Baseball season seems like it's a long way, but here in Miami, the fans are already getting excited. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
The Miami Marlins hosted Fan Fest this weekend at Lone Depot Park, an annual event that brings the local baseball community together. With the Marlins having their best season in a while last year, fans were able to show their excitement on Friday.
As Caplin's Anthony Milan reports, Marlins fans will have a lot to cheer for in 2024.
The Miami Marlins are hosting their annual Fan Fest at Lone Depot Park. And after a year where they made the playoffs, the first time they did so in a full season since 2003, the hype here is real, and the Fish are prepared for next season, looking to build on their momentum.
The Miami Marlins Fan Fest event is an annual free event for all fans of the Miami Marlins to come and show their team pride, as well as have fun with some activities. It allows the Marlins to build a sense of community for their fans and have a great time promoting the new season.
And my favorite part about the whole thing is meeting all these players, because these are guys you see on TV, and I'm also a big fan of the sport I played when I was a kid. Just being here for me is just like an experience on its own. My kids having a good time, meeting the players, getting autographs, playing outside.
After making the playoffs for the first time in a full season since 2003, fans' expectations for the Marlins are sky high, especially considering the superstar players they have like Luis Arraez, Sandy Alcantara, and Jake Berger.
The expectations is to win 78 to 82 games and be around 500. That was the expectation for last year when you came into opening day, and they overachieved. And we're going to do it again. That's the expectations. Continue growing, grow as players. They're only going to get better. Usually young guys don't get worse.
So seeing them get super aggressive towards the end of that deadline to make a run for that playoffs, I was like, this is what the Miami team I know they could be. It's like a team you shouldn't underestimate, in my opinion. We got a young team. I like the guy that we brought in from Tampa, so I believe he'll bring good players to the team.
Despite the national narrative of the Marlins being that they don't have many fans, the Marlins are confident in this upcoming season, and the community of fans they have are excited to see what the Marlins throw out on the field next year.
With pitchers and catchers reporting on February 13th, the Fish season is right around the corner, and the fans are ready to come prepared for action. With Caplin News, I'm Anthony Milan.
The Super Bowl matchup is set this morning after two exciting conference championship games. In the early game, Kansas City Chiefs won on the road in Baltimore in just Patrick Mahomes' second road game. They beat the Ravens 17-10. While in the late game, the San Francisco 49ers won at home in a comeback victory over the Detroit Lions. The final score was 34-31. The Chiefs and the 49ers will play February 11th in Las Vegas.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Cassandra Alonso.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.